Hey guys and gals, this is Nathan. Welcome to another episode of Let's Color. So we're still working on template, obviously. Let's see. Some same stuff as before. I already got the. This is a page where I had the backgrounds colored before in one of the other videos. So we're just going through rendering out the people, trying to get this done. On time, which is always important. Well, I guess let's just go ahead and dive right into it. I don't really pick, like, oh, I'm going to do all the skin tones first or, anything like that when I'm working on pages. I just like to kind of dive right in, see what grabs me. Unless there's like a huge integral part of the page, that's going to help set the tone for everything else. But, in this case here, we already have, this is a sequence of, I think, like 12 pages that take place in the same setting. So, nothing too groundbreakingly drastic or different, is going on in this scene than the other pages. Just gotta go through and render things out. That's it. I kind of mentioned in the last video about coloring, like this guy's suit. At the parallel lines, really don't see the tones as much anyway. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time worrying about rendering every single fold or anything like that. See, like, just the look of the book, I decided to do something different to match the art a little bit more than what I had in the first graphic novel. I wonder why that's standing out so much. I was using like a couple different brushes in the first graphic novel, and decided in the second one I just used one brush, and that's that. Let me get a top layer going here, and it's like this. I call it a dry block brush, and I have it set to the angle jitter, size jitter. So each time I touch down, it's going to look a little bit different. You can see. Yeah. I don't know. I like the look a lot, and it just kind of really fits to me. I think it fits the art style because it gives it a nice look and feel. All right, let's go ahead and work on this guy's skin tones. I want to have trying to think. Do the light from above here, or if I should do a rim light. I think I'll do a rim light, a little bit more dramatic. I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. Let me see. A little bit more yellow. Yeah, I should look good. Yeah, maybe we'll just see the top of it like that. Let me grab my skin tone colors again that I had for them. Kind of remembering, you know, where the other light source is coming from. So keep that consistent. This here would all be dark. And under the neck would be a little bit darker too. So light's not going to be hitting that as hard. I think that looks pretty good on that one. Let me pick my skin tones again. On some skin tones, I like to work, you know, use my base tone as a medium tone. You know, some skin tones it's easier for me to work like that, but I don't have like a set, you know, oh, this is the rule, this is how I have to color. So usually like in African Americans, I'll have like the base tone might be like my darker tone or something. So kind of like how I'm doing on this guy here. I think it just helps me get a better idea of what it's going to look like. So I don't really agree with anybody, like, you know, I mean, everybody has like their own way of teaching things. I think if anybody sits down and is like, oh, this is the way you do this, you know, like I don't really see that way of teaching. You know, it's more, to me, it's more about personal exploration. You know, you can find something, you know, that works, you know, tons better for you. It may not work for me. You know, it's just as valid way of doing things, especially with the Photoshop. You know, it's definitely a program where you need something done, and you know there could be, you know, depending on what it is. I mean, who knows? It could be, you know, 20 different ways of getting to that point. You know. So yeah, it looks pretty good there. This is his hand here, but it's more in the foreground. I'm going to go ahead and render it with this regular skin tone for now, but more than likely, oops, let me get on that color layer. More than likely I'll end up doing some adjustments to it, but we'll find out in a second. And there goes the AC. Still trying to get things set up at home. So it's a lot quieter environment. Like where I record now is at the studio where I work. Usually after hours, you know, everybody else has gone home for the evening. You know, I'll stick around, do some color stuff. But so one thing is like I sit right underneath a vent. So that when that AC kicks on, man, it really kicks on. I think it's cool, like I really like about this brush. You know, I'm just using one color, but I'm getting like all these different tones out of it. You know, with the pressure sensitivity of my tablet. Well, I'm using a Cintiq, but I mean, the tablet would get you the same results. Is that the Wacom or Wacom? It seems like everybody has like a different way to pronounce it. And I've met representatives who work for the company, but I don't think I've ever heard, you know, anybody say it the same way, even that work there. It's kind of weird. Oops. Get on the right layer. You see, I'm just kind of, you know, scrubbing around on these guys. It's not the focus of the piece, you know, these straps or anything. I'm just kind of putting a little bit of color down on them. I'm going to clean these guys up a little bit more because it's just, got really messy and out of hand. It's kind of, oops, again, let me get on the right layer. Just kind of toning that down a little bit more. Those guys run the same thing, or same colors anyway. That color, a little bit lighter, a little bit more saturated. So here I'm kind of dabbing my brush around on this screen. It's giving me like a, you could tell it's like a little bit rougher texture. It's gonna look a bit different, from the way I render like the metal of your shoulder pads or something. I think it's a bit of coloring, like a lot of colors don't really pick up on, showing different textures and whatnot. It's definitely one thing I never did a whole lot of, like when I was first starting, so trying to keep in mind, you don't want to render leather the same way you would, like metal or something. So that looks decent. Let's see. Let's get a little bit here on these belt buckles. Again, doesn't need much. It's not the main focus of the piece or anything. It's the shoulder pads as well. So you can see here, I'm making, these lines here on the metal are going to be a bit cleaner, the rendering of it. Pants. Get on the right layer again. Like you're going to be doing that all night or something. Okay, I'll do this guy first. I had colored the jumpsuits earlier. Okay, here we go. Kind of the same thinking here. Oops. Let me get on the right layer again. The jumpsuits, as it was like on the guy's jacket, don't really need to worry too much about the folds. And what I'm doing, I'm really putting on, since my light source is coming from above, you can really tell like here, like in the rendering of the fingers where the light source is. So it's coming down, this way. So I'm just really hitting up, the upper left part. Pushing down a little bit harder, getting more orange in there. And then as I'm going more down and to the right, I'll lighten up on the pressure. I'm not really too fussed about, how I'm rendering out these folds. Just kind of following the shape, the artwork. If I sit there and, if I was doing this like with the lasso and airbrush, it would just really get boring and lose a lot of the energy that's going on in the art. Now he's more behind this other guy on the orange, so I'm gonna kind of knock him back a little bit Just darkening it up a little bit and like getting rid of a little bit of the saturation as well. That'll just kind of push him back more and allow this guy here to come forward, giving us a little bit more depth. I say it's one of my favorite things about Photoshop is just being able to do adjustments on it. So instead of having to pick like a different color for his base tone and different color for the highlights on him, I could just use the same tool, same color and everything, and I can get through that so much quicker, and then just do a quick adjustment on it. I don't have to worry about, okay, what color should I have it, going through that whole thinking process. It's just so much faster to do it like that. And coming from, background, when I first started coloring comic books, I was doing color guides. So I'd do everything in markers, then it would go to a person in Photoshop. And, what you had with your markers and you put it down on paper, that was it. There's no adjusting it or anything like that. So definitely Photoshop gives you like a lot more freedom, to experiment. So make sure you take advantage of that. All right, let's get in here in his chest and everything. So this whole bit here, I'm not going to go as dark or anything like that. In fact, what I think I'm going to do... See, I still have that selected? I deselected, okay. Still have that selected. I'm going to deselect his arms here, my lasso tool. Doesn't have to be exact, because we have like a lot of black going on, so that helps out a lot. I'm going to get a new layer, put that on multiply. I'm going to go to my soft brush right there. I'm going to get this blue color that I like so much. It's kind of a little bit more indigo, but it does its job. What that's going to do on multiply is going to help darken this area right here. It's going to help us add more shadow to it, more depth. A little probably too much. Let me lighten that a little bit more. Like here, stay dark. That's cool. Maybe a little bit over here like that. All right, now let me get this guy and on my multiply layer. Let me add a little bit of that over here too. Still, again, just push him back a little bit more. So I think that looks pretty good. So yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, let's get. Oops, you can merge that down now. We don't need that anymore. Let's get this guy out of the way. Yeah, I think I'll finish up this guy and then we'll end this episode. In the next episode, we'll finish it up. Then I got to send off these pages tonight as well. See, I colored him. Oh yeah, here he is. This guy over here is the same type of hood on. Alright, so almost done. Just have a little bit left to do, some skin tones and whatnot. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. I don't want to go over too much. Yeah, join us next episode as we finish up this page. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright, thanks. Bye.